Tailors have died. Tailoring has not died. It reinvents itself as generations go on. There's always going to be the need for tailoring, because if you want to maintain the types of product that we do, you can't do it all machine-made. Southwick's name has been based upon making half canvas and full canvas clothing, which is more high-end tailored product. Traditionally, Southwick was known for creating or the beginning of the soft-shouldered coat. The complexities of the Southwick product, being that it's that higher construction, makes it a lot more difficult manufacturing, a much more challenging environment. I think what makes Southwick facility state-of-the-art is that we went through a lot of different concepts as we moved from one facility to this current facility, while still keeping old war tailoring in its place. So a lot of people learned a lot of technology, a lot of sewing ability. They brought that different thinking back. That we like to think of ourselves as a little United Nations. In our cafeteria, if you look at the map, there are a whole lot of flags from the rest of the world.
When you buy a Blue Brothers suit, I believe you buy number one. Our goal is to make it the best quality to satisfy our customer.
We have a lot of quality control people here.
Always, I spend the first few months show to him what's the coat supposed to look, what he have to do, make sure the coat is good.
Every single coat, every single pen, we check it for the quality.
تمام این کارا که انجام میشه، اعتباری که ما داریم، اعتمادی که مشتری به ما انجام میده.
It's a very good collaboration between modern technology and old war tailoring. Best effort you can do that without really going into a full handmade product.
به نظر من خیاطی کار هنری و یه کاری که سلیقه میخواد.
For me, made in America is the best. The best. I'm proud to made in America.
Very important to produce in the United States. The best garment, best quality, and best look.
It's made in America, high-tailored, high-quality product. Let me say it this way. We are Brooks Brothers. We are the authority on classic American tailoring, bar none.
Operations Management students. This is Professor Peter Gregory for MGT5110. Coming up here, Spring 18 in the Y1 session. So we're all on the same page. I think we have a solid 19 in the course, quite a few. It's pretty much the average that we get in that course. And I'm about to send off this email here on Sunday, the 4th of March. And there's quite a bit of information, so I thought I'd make a quick screen record here, a recording of the screen grab for everybody, so we're on the same page here. So I'm about to send this off, and a few items in here kind of grew a little bit. They'll end up, most of these things will end up in the syllabus, which I'll put up on eClass. eClass will be available probably within 24 hours. I just have some final information I need to put up there, as will the syllabus. Okay, so some preliminary items. We're meeting in Aquinas 055, which is a computer lab, on Mondays from 12 of March through Monday the 7th of May, which are 8 meetings, and we are meeting at 6 o'clock p.m., which seems to have maybe escaped my description there. When we do get to class, I end up using the screen share from the instructor's computer, so make sure you get to class on time and log in so that then I can share my screen. If you come in late, then I have to unshare and reshare, so please be there on time. And we'll end up doing, every class will have some kind of submission. We'll have some kind of work time in the class to submit a work product up on eClass for the day. And that actually also works out as your attendance as well. Okay, there'll be some minor assignment that we'll take care of inside the class that evening. Okay, so the required texts here, again, this is all be on eClass in the syllabus. Please see the Mount Bookstore for the listings. They have the authoritative, the final versions of everything that I'll need. The ISBN numbers and everything else should be there. I need to add one item below, and you'll see what it comes up there. I'll update these. It actually will end up being Monday the 5th, because I was there today, and those that can help me are not here till the week. Okay. So you can buy the materials through the bookstore. Anything for this course should be listed there, but I know that students are quite savvy. Just make sure what I have here in whatever this bright lavender, whatever color it is, if you purchase from the Pearson site itself or any other location, it's your responsibility to make sure you get the right thing, okay? So we're going to use the Pearson text alongside the My OM Lab. The author of the book, there's three authors there. Heiser, Render, and Munson, I think, is the other name, but for some reason they go by Heiser Render, which you can remember as I Surrender, okay? And Operations Management, Sustainability, and Supply Chain Management. Nice book, very up to date, and you'll notice that they actually include in the title description of something we're all interested in, triple bottom line sustainability, from 3 or 4 different perspectives there. It's 12th edition, okay? McGraw-Hill Practice for Operations is a production environment simulation. I have some information below about that. There will be much work in Microsoft Word and Excel version 2016. So you can go to the IT department and give them your student email, and they can put you into a domain or URL in your browser that you go to, and you can download that. It's a really good deal. It's free. It's a nice benefit from going to classes here at the Mount. So everybody should have the latest version of it. I've had students try to get through with other versions, and I just can't answer questions if there's incompatibilities in what. So for both Mac and the PC, you can get your Microsoft Office 2016. You might as well get that. Something that I use, and I'll demonstrate it here really quickly, that it's totally up to you, but when making a good report, I mean, something you should be taking away from this class, if not other ones in your degree for your MBA, is really leveling up your ability to create professional reports. So at every juncture, I try to give us some experience with that so everybody can really focus on communications. It's really interesting. So I have a minimum format for a Microsoft Office Word document that we'll use, that I'll go over. There's actually videos. I use a lot of videos in the course here. So I have a video about how to go about the certain strokes, keystrokes, and such things in a Microsoft Word document to get a minimal, nice formatted document at a minimum. I mean, at work, you might be told to do something else. You might be working with a client. They ask you to use some other format. But in the lack of anything like that, you might want to just pick up some good work practice with how to create a Microsoft Word document with these formatting. And in so, quite often we do screen grabs. I'm going to ask you to get really good practice of dropping some, what tends to end up being screen grabs or other kinds of JPEGs, PNGs, or anything else, even video sometimes, into your document. And so a tool that I'll recommend, let's see, the name of it is TechSmith Snagit. TechSmith Snagit. Okay, so let me just pump that up a little bit so you can find it again. Not that big. It's too big. And this product isn't free. It's somewhere between $35 and $50. And every few generations of this, I go and re-up again. There we go. Let's turn that on to bold. Okay. And so it's a recommendation. If you're going to end up doing reports at work, you're going to get a lot of Excel practice in this course. So that's the Swiss Army knife of business. And I'll recommend this TechSmith Snagit above the default programs. It's okay. Both PC and Mac both have screen grab capabilities through the snipping tool is on the PC under Windows 10. They have a snipping tool. So if you have Windows 10, you can do it. And in Mac, there's some kind of command sequence there. It's very easily accessible through a Google search. It'll tell you which keys to use. I'm going to give you a demo here because it's going to come up. I'd rather just cover it here while we're all talking about it here. And from Windows 10, you can run snipping tool and click new, and you can click anywhere on the page and snip that out. And then you can save it as a file save as, or you can just hit Control-C or go to edit and do a copy. That'll take either of those methods will take it to the clipboard, and then you can insert it in a Word document. So that's a snipping tool. And the Snagit looks a lot different because it's a much more powerful tool. I'm just going to show you a little bit in the video here. If I grab this, I'm just offering some. This is one of my most basic tools I use all the time, and you can do all kinds of drawing on here. I even have a tablet here with a pen, so I can come in and I can highlight things with the pen. I can draw on there like that. You can do anything you want. You can do all kinds of call outs on here, add text, add arrows, and you'll see it through this course that I'll be sending emails and such with screen grabs from time to time. So I do recommend this. It's very powerful. It's got full image editing on it. They keep moving it forward. Anyway, so I just thought I'd mention that to you. So let me close that out. All right, so that's a recommended, okay? Totally optional. Okay, so the Pearson text, to register for the Pearson My OM Lab, the course ID you need is this, okay? So I'll post that on eClass, but keep this email handy because it's full of all the registration information. And I have a PDF attached here from Pearson regarding how you register into that. So it's for students. It's a document. It's listed. If I click attachments down here, let's see where it lists the attachments. I'm not sure if I can get a list of the attachments, but I have different attachments already loaded up on this email. Okay, so see the PDF about Pearson. Okay, and the next thing you're going to need is McGraw-Hill Practice for Operations. It's called the product. They have different. McGraw-Hill has different practice for operations. I'll put that in there just so we have it. And that's production environment simulation. Works out really great. I've been using it. This will probably be about the 10th or 11th time I've ever used it. McGraw-Hill Practice for Operations, available from the Mount Bookstore. It should be available there. And what you're going to get is a card, an access card. Or you can get it online. And so sometimes people have to go through the bookstore. I'm not going to get into that. It's up to you to get it whichever best way you feel, but just make sure you get the right thing. And the course name that I've set up, when you go to McGraw-Hill Practice for Operations, this is the name of the course. I'm not really sure that you actually need that, but it's a good indicator you're in the right place. To register for McGraw-Hill Practice, click this URL. I think if you click that, it will also take you the same place. Will either ask you for the number, or if you don't have one, you can purchase it there. It's something on the order of $45 is the simulation here. Okay, so go to the web address here and click on the register link above. I have the instruction there. Now I've saved you some time. Download from this email and save it for the course an attached student guide, a PDF document to McGraw-Hill Practice, which you're going to want to read and understand about. And I've already popped up the first 4 assignments. And I just want to make a comment here and just want to bring people into the fold a little bit. And so the first 2 modules for this, all the modules have tutorials to get into them. And module 1 is due, I'm trying to pace this out a little bit. So after we meet Monday, March 12th, by Thursday night, 11 p.m., the first module will be due. And then by the time we meet, the second time we meet for March 19th, it will be due before class at 6 p.m. there. Okay. Now the third one is due. I'm trying to pace us here a little bit. So that will be due the next Thursday, which is March 22nd. Okay. And there will be an in-class assignment regarding some support material like Microsoft Excel and Microsoft Word for you around the Monday class. So I want you to get through Mod 3 by Thursday, so then you can start working on some analysis that you're going to need. And once we get to, what would that be, Monday the 26th, okay, we're going to have cleaned up Mod 1, Mod 2, Mod 3 with some reports. We're going to have done some analysis. That's already 3 weeks into it. And then on April 2nd, I guess that's going to be after Easter, you will have delivered your first Mod 4, okay? And I'd like to introduce this product to people. Give yourself enough time for Mod 4, okay? So you're hearing an alert from me right now. But when you get registered into here and whatnot, you have to watch out. You have to be all ready with analysis tools by the time you get to Mod 4 to be able to get through that without a hitch, okay? So I just want to bring some attention to that. Give yourself enough time. Even though this is due April 2nd, do not leave it for the hour before class. Mod 4 will take something on the order of 4 hours minimum for some good analysis, and that will set you up for success. And if you avoid doing the upfront work, you're going to end up in the cycle of going through Mod 4 over and over again, and it has everything to do with the upfront analysis. Okay, so moving on from there, One other item here I've just listed is a class list. And if you notice, I've created these 2-digit class ID numbers. And the reason for that is there'll be a fair amount of things submitted on eClass, and it takes about a quarter of the time for me to do a lot of the grading if everybody just names all their files a certain way through a certain convention that we have here. And the idea is I've just labeled everybody alphabetically 01 through 19. That is your class ID number. There's a small chance they might change if we have too many drop ads for the course right at the beginning here, but pretty much just assume that these are your numbers right now. And what the format that I request when you upload to eClass is you use your 2-digit number at the beginning of the file name, and then a space, and then some format for your name. You can give your first name and last initial or whatever it might be. Usually the first name, last initial is sufficient, okay? And then the descriptive file name will follow. It would be like homework 1 or whatever else. And I did give you an example of what I'm talking about here. Here's an example file name for Alfred. Good to have you in the class. Hope everything's well. And so what I did here is the typical file name will be 01, and I want to put the quote outside here. I put that in the wrong place. So the file name is 01 space Alfred A space, and then whatever the name of the assignment is. Okay. And then what happens is when I download those, they come right into my directory and everything's in order, and I can get right at it and get back to you with grading. Okay. So I just mentioned here, we're going to mainly be doing Microsoft Word documents, and we're going to be doing Microsoft Excel. And I'm going to put a note in here right now because I didn't say it explicitly, but note, MS Word only and MS Excel only. What does that mean? Not Google Docs. These are common things that happen. I get a Google Doc I can't read, or PDFs. Okay, so if you give me Microsoft Word docs, I can open them up and I can edit them, and I can send them back with my notes in there. Okay, so that's the big reason why I don't use any Google Docs or anything like that. Okay, all right, so those are your 2-digit numbers. There's the class list. There might be a drop ad in there after we get started in here, but you can actually take a look at this, and this is where we are anytime we need to upload a file. Okay, so let's see. Be ready to bring all your work experience in here. Okay, because the more work experience we can relate to things in the classroom. I try to make my classes real and applicable and relevant right away. I don't look at it as having to wait for some kind of feedback on an exam or any other kind of feedback that way. You should just be able to take these things, adopt the vernacular, adopt the nomenclature that we use, and adopt the vocabulary of what we use right away. Just assume it. Start building your business self, I guess you might say. Okay, that's my approach to the classes myself. So please only use my PGRE5059 email address. Don't look at the other email address I have here, the administrative one, very often, and I can find things 3 days later for somebody that needed an urgent request. So you're hearing it from me now. If you want fast response, make sure that you email to here. I say fast response or any response, really. Okay. Likewise, please use your Mount email address. Once in a while, I might get an email from somebody who accidentally sends it out of their work address or something, but keep it. It's actually a policy for the school that all things go through this email system just for tracking purposes. Okay. My office hours will be the couple hours before class on Mondays. That's variable, and I need to hear from you if you're interested. Quite often what I do is I hold extra sessions beforehand on the computer if we need to get through McGraw-Hill practice, if anybody needs some extra work with that. Okay. Also, I down here, I found I need to ask this question. How are your MS Word and MS Excel skills? Okay, so self-assess those. Some people come in here and they're spreadsheet jockeys from what they do at work. Some people have never even used Microsoft Excel, and what we need to do is get everybody at the minimum performance level because part of our reports will have to do with how well and comfortable you are with Microsoft Word and Excel. And seriously, if you need Excel skills, what I'll do is give you some exercises. There's some great YouTubes out there, and you're going to have to practice. I'll be frank with that, is most of Excel is doing it, and you just have to run a few exercises that we go through that will put you in good shape for doing the work that we need to for the course. Right. So other than that, I'm going to fire this off right now. You can have the information in here. with a link. Actually, I'll add the link to this video into the email so that you have the play-by-play that I just gave you here. So looking forward to seeing you. Have a good few weekends before then as you finish up perhaps your the X1 session. Maybe some of you are finishing up on. Glad to see all the new faces and glad to see a lot of familiar faces from time maybe a couple years ago even that we had the undergrad form of this class. So we'll talk to you soon. Looking forward to it. Bye now.